Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of 92 Breadcrumbs. I want to thank you for being here as we take a look at a quote, a really powerful quote that I wanted to share with you guys and just kind of share some positivity. It has to do with the self-image, and whether you're religious or not, I feel like it has some powerful insights that can maybe shed some light, spread some positivity. So let's go ahead and get started. The quote is by Leslie D. Weatherhead in her book, Prescription for Anxiety. Now let's go ahead and get started. She says, if we have in our minds a picture of ourselves as fear-haunted and defeated nobodies, we must get rid of that picture at once and hold up our heads. And I love that part. I love the beginning of that because it has to do with the self-image and kind of the picture that we hold of ourselves. You know, if we hold ourselves as fear-haunted and defeated nobodies, we must get rid of that picture, because if we held a picture of ourselves as fear-haunted and defeated nobodies, our reality in the physical world reflects and represents the images that we hold of ourselves and of the world on the outside and on the inside. They reflect one another. And so if we have those pictures of ourselves as fear-haunted, defeated nobodies, we got to get rid of them. Let's continue and let's see what she says and how to do that, right? She says that picture is false and that the false must go, right? 100% agree. That image, or those images that we hold of ourselves that aren't positive and radiating positivity, are false, because everybody is attracted to positivity, right? Everybody's attracted to light. When somebody has a positive, radiant energy about them, people are naturally attracted to them. And so anything that's on the opposite spectrum of that is false, and it must go, right? God sees us as men and women in whom and through whom he can do great work. And I love that, because not only in whom, but through whom, right? So whether, even if it's energy that you believe in the universe, or whether you have a religion or not, these things, God or spirituality or the universe, does work through us. And there's an action there, that there is, it's not just in us, not just doing it to us singularly, but doing it through us and taking action in the world and doing the work of spreading light and good and love and creativity and positivity, right? He sees us, she says, as already serene, confident, and cheerful, right? So that's how life and God and positive energy sees us, as these things already. He already assumes us to be this. It is us that get down on ourselves. It's us that bring in that darkness and into our own world and let it affect us, and therefore reflect back on the world. He sees us, He sees us as already serene, confident, and cheerful, right? So that's how God expects us. That's what God or the universe or positive energy sees us as. We are that. If we weren't that, we would be some shadow somewhere else in a different part of the universe. But we are here for a reason, and that we have consciousness for a reason, that we are light and we are creators and we have dominion over the earth, because we are to see ourselves as serene and confident and cheerful, to spread that amongst each other and bring our vibration up and bring each other's vibration up. And God or the universe already sees us as that. He sees us not as pathetic victims of life, but masters of the art of living, not wanting sympathy, but imparting help to others, and therefore thinking less and less of ourselves, and full, not of self-concern, but of love and laughter and a desire to serve. And that, I think, is just the core and so powerful to this quote. This is what's so powerful about this quote, is that he sees us as masters of the art of living and not wanting sympathy, right? We're not looking in the mirror and looking for sympathy and for others to validate the sympathy or the bad feelings we have for ourselves. What she's saying is that we are not wanting sympathy, but we are imparting help to others, and therefore thinking less and less of ourselves, right? We're getting out of our own heads. We're getting out of just looking at the mirror and living in self-pity, but we're looking at the world and imparting, thinking less and less of ourselves, and thinking of ourselves as full, not of self-concern, but of love and laughter and a desire to serve. We're here and we have the ability to choose and change our goals, and we have the gift of conscious thought so that we can impart positivity and serve others and improve the lives of others, because what goes around comes around. When we improve the life of someone else, we improve our own life, and it's just kind of together we can raise the general vibration of humanity and of the earth, right? She continues to say that let us look at the real selves, which are in the making the moment that we believe in their existence. And I love that word belief in there, because the real selves, right? If we look past in the quote, what she said is, you know, serene, confident, and cheerful. When we see ourselves as those real selves, they are in the making the moment that we believe in their existence. And that is so powerful, because we can think and want, we can think of like us being positive, right? If we picture ourselves, we can be like, oh, maybe that's what I'd be if I was positive, or if I was this, if I was more confident, or if I was more outgoing, or whatever. But until we believe and really grasp it and believe that we are able to become that, or that we are that, we take that and we identify with that belief and that identity. Once we do that, we are in the making. That person is in the making. We are moving towards that goal, right? We are on our way the moment that we believe that is possible, and we are moving in that direction. But we have to believe, and I love the use of that word believe in there, not picturing it, but believing that it is possible, that we are there, so that when we believe it, we really grasp it and send it down into our subconscious mind, and we start to build and create a world that reflects what's on the inside, right? Where you start to reflect a more positive, confident, cheerful, serene reality that we live in here in the conscious mind. And she says that we must recognize the possibility of change and believe in the self we are now in the process of becoming. So that she just summed up I just summed up what she was saying, because this is her quote, right? That we must recognize the possibility of change and believe in the self we are now in the process of becoming. We must recognize the possibility of change, right? We must understand that in order to get there, if we believe in that person, and that's what we're moving towards, that's who we believe we really are, we're gonna have to shed, we might have to shed parts of us that are currently a part of us, and maybe these are the things that we're not getting the results that we really consciously want. Maybe we're getting not great results, right? If there's a need for change or a want for change, it's because we're not getting results in an area of our life that maybe we did want. And we have to recognize that we may have to shed parts of ourselves and leave those behind to become the people that we want to become and that we believe ourselves to truly be. And this, I think, is really important, because sometimes people expect those certain traits from us or certain things from us that are part of that personality that we might be ready to shed. And if they don't get it, we might be in danger of losing that person, because they expect that from us, right? They expect that person, that part of our personality. And if we're ready to shed it and become someone else, it's really important to understand that and grasp it, that, you know what, it is a good thing, and become that and realize that it's going to be necessary. And if that person doesn't recognize the good person that you want to become, then maybe they have to be left shed behind us, And sometimes I think this is important to mention here, that I think this has a lot to do with social media and things like that, especially when we create kind of a persona online and social media, that it can become kind of a cage if we want to make a drastic change or a drastic move. Because people expect these certain things from us, it can become kind of a cage, and we're like, oh man, like, what's everybody gonna think if I'm doing this or I'm doing that, or doing, kind of changing things up. And I think it's really important to understand that there is gonna be a shedding, and maybe people go along with that shedding, and to understand that before we even maybe make the move or start to make the changes, and understand that people might get left behind. And it's okay, because there's people over there in that and on the other side where maybe it's a higher vibration, right? People aren't resonating with each other. It's fine. We're just maybe on different wavelengths, which is totally okay. That's the meaning of life. Not everybody's supposed to be the same, right? She continues to say, let me continue, that the old sense of unworthiness and failure must go. 100%. Shed it, let it go, right? It is false, and we are not to believe in what is false. And that is a great way to end the quote, because it's false. That's not who we're really meant here to be. These deprived, people that are not feeling great about ourselves, those are false beliefs and false ways of feeling. And that's why they don't feel good, because they're false. When you're truly expressing yourself and really just kind of in the moment and expressing yourself with no consciousness and just kind of having fun, enjoying those great moments that we have, those memories that we hold on to, those are the real us. Maybe it's with our best friend or our family members that we feel the closest and most comfortable to be our 100% true selves, and fully express who we are. Those are the true selves. And to understand that that is the reality. And when we're not feeling good, or we don't feel great about ourselves, or when we're feeling this, low energy vibration, that those are false, and understand that we must get rid of those. And a really good way that's worked for me to get rid of those false beliefs about myself that maybe I even tell myself, right? We do that. We end up doing that. We end up telling ourselves these bad things, that we said something stupid, or we did something stupid. But a great way that I get rid of those, and maybe it's different for you, but for me, I just close my eyes and I look at the belief, and I kind of let it float in my mind, and just kind of put it in a bubble, right? I put that feeling and the words and the emotion that I put that aren't making me feel so great about myself, and I let it float there in a bubble, and I put it in a bubble in a circle. And then I just pop it, and I let it go, and I let it fizzle away, and understand that was a false belief. That was a false belief about myself, that I am and we are supposed to be radiant and positive, and tell ourselves good things, and tell ourselves we love ourselves. And I hope you know that I love you. And it's 92 Breadcrumbs. I want to thank you for being here. I hope I shared some light with you today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. I hope you have a great day. It's beautiful out today. 92 Breadcrumbs out.